Hello there. Good afternoon. This is Cheryl Lentz, Independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, talking to you on Tuesday at 2. I'm so excited to share the card today. I wanted to make a card that reminded me of the sunrise that we saw when we were in Maui, which was freezing cold. But it was so beautiful, and I myself did not take pictures, but the husbands of my friends did, and so I have some of their pictures. And so that's how this card started out today, using the stamp set After the Storm, which is this stamp set here, After the Storm, which is one of the $1 Million Achievers. I think it's her stamp set. Anyhow, that's how this started. Hi, Patty. But it kind of evolved into something completely different, that's okay. I was like, okay, that's how most of my cards start. You see all the cards behind me there. I have next month in July, when I have my Kismet class, instead of having just 4 cards, everybody comes and does 4 cards. We're going to do what's called a card buffet. Hi, Lynn. And the card buffet is that you get to choose from a bunch of different cards. So last count here, I think I have 12 cards. And so we'll have those ready, and then people can pick and choose what cards they want. So it'll avoid any waiting. And, you know, if you don't need a particular card and want something else, or you don't like to color and you want a different card, you can choose between the cards. So you choose 4 and make them. If you decide you have more time and want to purchase extra cards, they're there. So I'm really excited because I just get to sit and design. So this is when I started designing for that purpose, but I was so excited with the finished product that I had to share it with you today. So, and with that said, I did the card and then I had bonus pieces left over. So, yay, another card. Which is basically using the same, some of the same products and same colors, but a completely different card. Of course. So I'm going to turn the camera around. I will show you the card. I'll show you the pieces that we're working with, and then we'll get started because there's some stamping to do here. So let's turn this around. So chat with me. Let me know if you're watching now, you're watching later. Oops, here we go. Okay, so here's my table. Woo. There we go. How's that? That's good. Okay, so ta-da, here we go. So what I'm working with, I love this After the Storm, and I thought, oh, this is so perfect. They have these like clouds, but they could be mountains. I mean, they could be different things. So that's kind of a fun element. And then I wanted to do a mountain, but I ended up using these dies. This is from Inspiring Canopy Dies. So I ended up using these trees with this set. Kind of a odd combination, maybe. Except that when you see the finished card, it was like, ooh, yeah. I'm really excited to share it with you. So here is the finished card. Ta-da. Not a mountaintop at all, but a sunrise nonetheless. Not a summer card because my trees have no leaves, which in this die set I could have, but I wanted those rays to shine through, so I left it as such. And I love the beauty of trees without leaves anyhow. So to me, that was kind of cool. So that was supposed to be just sort of a silhouette of the trees with the sun kind of shining through. This particular stamp set has great words. So it says, "You have been on my mind," the verse I love. Even in the darkest night, even the darkest night will pass and the sun will rise. So very inspirational, fun. Again, I used the brushes, and I did some brushing inside here. I used the brushing on the outside. So much fun. So, okay, let's get started. I'm going to put this aside, and I'll show you the bonus card afterwards. because I was like, bonus card has nothing to do with this. It was just like, oh my goodness, how fun. So here are all my little pieces. I have cut and ready. So sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. So this is my blank slate, right? And I knew I wanted this, my son that's coming up, to kind of be out of the picture a bit. So I went over the edge, but to know where to put my rays of sunshine, I didn't want to just cattywampus it. So I put it like that. I took a pencil and I just penciled around this. You're not going to see it, but I just very lightly took my pencil and drew around there. I'm using my favorite yellow, which is Mango Melody. I'm going to move that aside. So here we go. This is how I got started. I had no idea. This is the first card I made with this set. So both of them I hadn't used before. So I just started looking at the center of my sun and kind of going with the flow. And no right or wrong. They can cross over. All I'm doing is stamping in a circle. So works out pretty good. Pretty easy. Like that. And then we're gonna go like that. Ta-da! So covered the whole thing. Just like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take, now we have brushes too, which are, our brushes look like this, okay? They were on hold for a long time, and actually these are much nicer. They're a very thick, tight weave with the brushes. This is one that I had received, I got long before we had brushes, so that's what I'm using today. So when I do the brushes, I tap down on my stamp, on my ink pad, and I kind of go here first. Now I want my circle of glow in here, so I'm starting in the middle of where and I'm just going to bring my brushes out. So I'm just gonna go, and I'm just adding some, I'm adding some glow. I'm adding some glow here. In my original card, I wish that I had left a little more of the glow. So on this card, that's what I'll do. So I stamped it in Mango Melody, and now I'm taking Mango Melody and adding some glow. There we go. So now I'm going to cover that up so I don't wear it. Pacific Point. That's what I used for the nighttime sky. So I was kind of looking at the pictures, and it is sort of like this color when we were there. So I'm going to, again, tap, 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 kind of start out, and I'm just going to go around the glow. I want to give a hard edge to the edge of it, and a little more color to the edge of it. So it's like just on the edge of, you know, when it started getting light out, that's what it looked like. I did look at the pictures. Oh, it was so gorgeous. It was so cold. I didn't know at the top of a volcano, freezing cold, even in Hawaii. But the pictures were just phenomenal. So there we go. I'm really making a mess on my board today. So there you go. There's our, I'm going to leave a little more of that. So here's my background. Ta-da. So I gave it a pretty hard edge, and then just a little bit of this. And remember, our circle is going to go just like that. Ta-da. So you see that radiating out and burning off this nighttime sky. So cool. Okay, I can leave that one open because I'm going to use it for the words. So now what I need are my trees. So I have a piece of cardstock cut here, And I'm going to bring over my cut and emboss machine. And I'm going to show you how cool this is with these trees, how easily they cut out. I'm always amazed. I love this new cut and emboss machine. So I even put a new plate on it today. Looky there. Well, not on the bottom, but on the top. So here we are. So I have plate number 1. They have a little number on it. Plate number 1, plate number 2. This is for dies. Plate number 3. I'm going to put my cardstock here. And I'm going to center my trees. I'm just kind of looking here side to side, centering my trees on that piece of cardstock. Another number 3 plate. And then I just cut through here. Now you could do this and put adhesive on the back. I did not. It came off easy enough that I didn't have to worry about that. So there we go. There's our trees. So let me move this out of the way for a moment. Bring this over here. And here's my little pickup tool. So these just kind of pull out. Ta-da. That's all these little delicate trees. There we go. So there's my piece left over. So I used up most of it. And then I have these 3 pieces that are going to go for my next card. So those 3 pieces are what cut out here between my trees. So I'm going to set that off to the side because we're going to use that on our next card. So then when I have all these delicate little pieces, I take the sponge here and my brush from my pickup tool, and I just brush those. And I turn it both ways. So here I'm just going to turn it around. There might be a couple that you have to poke out, but for the most part, this gets them. Gets the majority of our little loose pieces out of here. So there we go. There's a couple little pieces that are wanting to stay and visit. So I just push a little bit more with my brush. And I go both ways because I think it keeps it flat. Of course, there's give in the brush, right, in the foam pad. So when you brush it against, you're kind of bending your cardstock. So that's why I go both. I flip it over. Okay, now I got a couple little pieces here. We're going to poke those out and all done. Pretty easy, all in all. There we go. Okay, let's move this off to the side. Get all my little scraps over here. There we go. Whoopsie daisy. I'm moving it. Sorry. Okay, I'll put that off to the side. Here's my brush. Here's my trees. Make sure I have all of them. So I have a couple that want to stay. So that's all I did. I put it down, and then I just kind of pick up my cardstock. Okay, all done. There's my trees ready to go. Here is my sun. This is going to go on Pacific Point. You know, I'm all about the layering. So let's put this down. Do I want to do that now? Yeah, I do. I was just wondering because the trees are actually, the tree die is actually longer than this piece. This is 5 by 3 3/4. But I extended it out of the picture. So I extended it to the whole 5 1/4, which is the blue the blue layer here, 5 1/4 by 4. So now I'm going to glue my sun on here. Ta-da, ta-da. And this was cut out with our circle dies. So I'm just putting it on in the center, just like that. So it's kind of out of the picture there, going outside a little. And then here are my trees. Now, you don't have to put glue everywhere. That's the rule on the glue, right? You just have to, you're like spot gluing it. So I just kind of went edge to edge on these bigger pieces, up the tree trunks. And then where it got a little thick, where there's some thicker spots, I just put a little glue. It's okay that it's not nailed down, right? You can have a little bit of, that gives it a little bit of interest when some of it is up. It's not all just solid. That's why I said if you wanted to, because it's so fine, you could use the adhesive sheets, but I didn't, and it was fine. So I would say let it go. All right, so here's my trees, and I'm just going to run them along the bottom of my piece here and side to side. So they're going to go to the bottom of my 5 by 3 3/4 piece, and see how it's going to go out of the picture is that some of the tree branches will extend and the ground here extends this whole length. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. There we go. So what extends, I'm just going to take my clips, my little scissors here, my clips, finger snips. Yeah, I did snip my finger, but they would be paper snips. There we go, like that. And then that's going to go on the Mango Melody. Watch how it just makes it pop. Ooh, pulls out that sunshine, that sun coming up. I got to see it with Elisa and Julie and Stephanie and Chuck and Stephanie and Todd and Lisa Marie and Chuck. We were all standing there, and the husbands were so sweet, and they got lots of photographs. We were freezing. I somehow missed the memo of it's cold on the top of a volcano. There we go. Ta-da. So now my words I have here, and I'm going to stamp those in Pacific Point right here. You have been on my mind. I really like, I really love how the font is on these. So let's see if I can, I'm always like, please let me get this straight while you guys are watching here, hopefully. Ah, I did it. Ah, it's a miracle. Okay, and then I did just cut a little whale tail on here. So I cut down the center and up the sides here to my cut point. And then I wanted, it's so stark, right? So I couldn't leave it like that. So I took my brush and I just kind of brushed the edges just to soften it all like that. There we go. That looks, I think it looks so much better. And I put that up with dimensionals, popped it up here. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. This is a super fast card, really, for having a number of different steps. It's pretty fast because there's not a lot of moving parts, right? But I think it's really pretty. It was like one of my favorites yesterday. I was like, oh, this is the one. This is the one we're going to do. And so I just lined it up with the edge of the paper here, my 5 by 3 3/4, so that it still had the border. There's the front of the card. Now the inside, again, I wanted to have that kind of glow, and it's such a great message. There's lots of ink on here, so all I did was go in the center. I didn't even re-ink it. Just go in the center and woo, go in a circle and just make a soft glow in the center. You don't want it too dark because that's where your writing is going to be, but I wanted it enough that you know, it had some color to it. It wasn't just that stark white. It was really soft and just kind of pleasing to the eye. Just kind of softens that stark white. There we go. Ta-da. Just like that. Okay, and then the verse for the inside is here. And I put that right smack dab in the middle. And nothing else, just the words. There we go. So even the darkest night will pass and the sun will rise. Sometimes we need to remember that. Night times are sometimes hard, right? There we go. So this is going to glue onto here. Like that. There we go. So just line it up. Tap it down. There. Put that inside. The other thing that you could do with this, now we don't have a Pacific Point blend, but the way the font is, you could, on these words, you could go with the fine tip of a blend and fill in, you know, a color in there. I really love this set. I think it's really, really pretty, and the words are great. Inspirational. There we go. So, ta-da! That's the card that I wanted to share with you today. So let's see. Yeah, see, I think I have a little more of the sunshine coming in, the sunrise, so that you can see that coming over. This one got a little bit, I got a little carried away with this Pacific Point, but I'm happier with today's card. So there you go. So that was the initial card. Then I ended up with these 3 pieces. And what do these look like? Anybody venture to guess? What do those look like? Oh, you like it, Lynn. I'm glad. Yeah, thank you, Patty. I'm glad you guys like it. So here we go. Halloween. Those are tombstones. Now, those are the pieces that were cut out between my trees. See that? Ta-da. And when I looked at them, I immediately thought, that's a tombstone. They left me with some Halloween stuff. So, kind of the same thing. I didn't have the sunny Mango Melody background, but here is the other card, my secondary card I did, using these 3 pieces. I even left this little odd spot on there. It was like, is that a bird on there? Is that a leaf crawling up? I don't know. But I just kind of left it on there. So here is my Halloween card that I did with my leftover pieces. Even this I kind of sponged with the blue. So again, I'm going to start out the same way. I'll go ahead and do this one. So I started out the same way with, set this stuff aside here, with my paper, my blank slate, and I'm going to put a glowing sun in there. I didn't use extra cardstock. I just did it strictly with my blends, with my brushes here. So, and I wanted it a little bit darker, so I went over it more. And so it's a little darker coming up. Looks like an egg. We could have an egg here. All right, and then I did my Pacific Point around it, so I could use everything that was left over, you know, from my last card. It just kind of fit together. So this was going to be a nighttime, more nighttime thing. So I wanted it a little darker around the edges here than I did before. Remember, before I went all the way around and I left it. But because the sun is just coming up over the hill, the sky here is a little darker. So I'm adding more. And I love using our brushes because you get that kind of soft look. You start off the page and go around. And it just blends beautifully. You get a soft, a lot of times when we would use some of the things in class, like a dauber, we'd get circles, right? Everybody would get circles all over. So there we go. I'm going to go a little bit darker right on this edge on the top. There. So there's my sky, my nighttime sky. Then I took a piece of cardstock to create, this is going to go right here. Let's see here. I didn't cut it down, I guess. This should be cut down. let me, well, we'll cut it after. So this is going to go right here, but to make the mountains, so I took it and you tear it towards you. I'm going to use both pieces of this, but I want to get that nice flared edge here. So I'm just, and every one is going to be a little different. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this. I should have cut this at 5 inches. And I cut it at 5.5. I guess I probably pulled out whatever was scrap was there. So I'm just going to snip this easy peasy like that, because we don't need that piece. And then this piece is going to go over the top like that. So again, I'm going to snip this piece. I'm just going to line it up with the edges, turn it over because it's easier to see where I'm cutting. There we go. Okay, so the bigger piece goes on first, and I just use that. So the frayed edge is on the outside. So this I just glued down because nothing's going to go behind it. On the other piece, the front piece, I put up on dimensionals because I am going to have my little tombstones peeking out there. So with this one, I left it like that, and I put my adhesive, I'm going to use like the edges of my adhesive, cat hair free, no charge. I like to use all the edges because I'm not sure where my little tombstones are going to go in. So if I just edge it, I can pop in the tombstones, and I can pop in more of these if I need it. So I'm going to put it, this is going to go this way, so I'm going to put it on the edge here and along the bottom, so that this open spot is where I'm going to tuck in my tombstones wherever I see fit. Now the thing is that it might not look exactly like the other one because I tore it different, right? So each one will kind of be its own, you know, it'll all be a little bit different, and that's okay. So let's get that one in the corner here. I'm going to cut this. I'm going to cut another little small piece here. There. I love the little edges to do that. Well, my goodness, I didn't cut it small enough. Go figure. There. Because I only want it on the edge. So, okay, there's my front. The front of my dirt pile, hill, whatever it is. My silhouette of the hill. So I'm going to tear these off and just line it up on the edge. So there we go. Lining it up on the edge of the card. Ta-da! So I have all this little opening here that you can see. So I had my little tombstones, and I was going to tuck those in here and there, you know, wherever, but they didn't stand out enough. So I took my crafting pad that I bought from Vicki. Thank you, Vicki. Every time I use this, I think of my friend Vicki. And I just brushed the edge. So like this. I wanted that to stand out a little bit. There we go. And that certainly makes it stand out. So that's going to go in like that. Here's my other little tombstones. And then we have, and I don't even know if you know this, but we sell a chalk pencil. So that's what I used to put on my little words. You have to be careful. This is a craft ink, right? So it takes a little bit longer to dry. So you might be wearing some of it a little bit. Okay. Now before I tuck those in, I am going to cut out my Happy Halloween and put that in because I want to make sure I have room for it. So I'm going to set this off to the side for a minute. I have black cardstock that I put our adhesive strip on. And then on the, we have the words, Happy Halloween. And I believe I can tell you what set it's from. It's from, let's see here, A Wish for Everything. So A Wish for Everything has Happy Halloween, has some other ones, but it has Happy Halloween. I used it yesterday, so when I did this, I'm just poking out the extra little pieces that stayed in there. There we go. Poke that out. Okay. So with this one, because I have the adhesive behind it, I'm going to go through a little bit more another time or two. I can use my little mini one, my mighty mini machine here. Where's my other die? My other plate here. So, okay. So here we go. I have the adhesive on the back. I'm just going to put my Happy Halloween on here. Oops, I got another one here stuck in. That's okay. Come on. I should use the brush. Silly me. You could also use the brush. So there we go. Here we go. I'll move that over to the side so I don't run into it. And just push this through. So here is my Happy Halloween. And then I'm going to bring it back towards me. There we go. Okay. Should be cut out. There. And I always check the back because you can see if it's not cut out. So you can see this one is. All the lines are cut out. Just in case you have to run it through again. There we go. Pop that out. Oops. I want to keep my the adhesive on the back right now. So I don't want that to come off yet. So I'm going to get my sponge out here again and my brush. Here we go. With my pickup tool. There we go. Popped right out. Ta-da. There we go. That's my happy. That makes me happy. Here we go. Whoops, that popped right out too. There we go. Halloween. Okay. So, I'm going to bring my piece over here. Take these out for right now. And then there's little pieces that are in here. Generally, when you pull the sticker off, they pull right off too. So let's see if generally it's going to work today or if I have to poke through. So all I'm doing is taking my pickup tool, the pointy edge here, and I'm pulling off the outside layer of the sticker. There we go. So now I just made myself a little sticker. And some of these stayed in, so we're going to poke those out. There we go. We're going to poke them right into my hand here. There we go. It's cut out. It just needed a bit more encouragement. It's a little shy. So there we go. I'm going to take it out. I love the idea of using the stickers, the adhesive sheets, because, oh, I should have done the other first, but that's okay. The adhesive sheets first because, it's so hard to glue, even with the green glue, to glue something this fine, even with the fine tip glue. It's hard to do that. So, here's my Halloween. Come on. I have it all on my fingers. There we go. Okay. Now, you could bend it, you know, I mean, it's narrow enough that you could kind of play with it, but I just kind of went right across the top. So here we go. Here's my Halloween. Ta-da, and it's all stuck down. How nice is that? Easy peasy. All right, let's get my happy going here. And again, I'm just gonna pull off the outside paper layer. And that one, all the little pieces came out for me. Thank you. There we go. And we're just going to put that down there. Ta-da, ta-da. These little pieces I get to wear for the rest of the night. No. Okay. So I took my chalk pencil, my chalk marker here, and I just did a little RIP on this one. And da-da-da-da, here's his name, date of birth, date of death. And these were smaller, so I just kind of added some writing on here. This guy was a little more wordy. Okay. And this one I glued down. So one of them I popped up, two of them I glued down. Just so you already have some texture with this one popped up. So I'm just going to put this, sneak this inside here. And I'm going to go like that. Kind of falling off to the side. And then this one I popped up, my center one, just to add some interest. So just a little bonus. So if you have the canopy tree dies, keep all of them. Keep all the cutouts, because look, you can make yourself some Halloween cards that are super cute and very fast and easy. This one's going to go here. And I'm just sneaking it underneath there. And then this one I'm going to put off on the side here and just glue it down. There. Push it down a little more. There. Ta-da! I put it on Pacific Point, just like we did with the other card. There we go. And then instead of the Mango Melody, of course, I had black for the base. It's a Halloween card. There we go. Glue that on. Put this on the front. So my bonus card, I'm doing one inspirational card, one Halloween card. So it's like, oh boy, that worked out nicely. There. Those three little pieces inspired this card. Now, I did go around with the blue on this one before even the inside verse is from A Wish for Everything. Really nice set. It has been in the catalog for a couple of years now, but it has a lot of it covers a lot of different holidays and things, so very nice. So I'm going to use my Pacific Point, so I'm not bringing out another color, another ink, and putting my verse in here. Says, wishing you a trick or treating, candy eating, frightful, delightful time. So it's that's a nice Halloween verse. There we go. Try to get it straight here. There, ta-da. All right, close that up. Get my layer in here. I'm kind of messy today, sorry. Yesterday, Pacific Point is one of those colors that it's so dark and rich, you can't help but turn a little blue. No matter what you do. I have a pumice stone in the bathroom for everybody when we use these colors that are, I have the same thing when I use Mossy Meadow. It's just a dark, deep, wonderful color, rich, and sometimes you just want to wear a little color. That way everybody knows what you've been doing. Staying out of trouble, just stamping. Here we go. There. Ta-da! So, there's our Halloween card. And here's our inspirational card. Same colors, a little different thing. So I hope you like that. Alrighty, I'm going to turn the camera around. Here we go. Let's see here. Ta-da. Okay. Slowly, slowly. There we go. All right. So thank you for joining me. If you're joining me now, you're joining me later. Hello to everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing, watching the video. I appreciate it. Subscribing to my YouTube channel. That helps a great deal. So thank you, thank you. Also, coming up July 1st through August 1st, we have 15%. Thanks, Lynn. We have 15% off on some select designer papers, which are the ones that everybody loves. So it's a great deal. Let me know if you are in need of paper. You can go to stampingjourney.com. You can do a little shopping on there. You can let me know, and I'd be happy to help you. And but so it doesn't start until July 1st. So just so you know that. So see all my cards lined up. I'm so excited. I just get to sit and design. So, all right, now I'm in the middle of designing a get well card with our cute little turtle. So the turtle, it has a turtle on it who's on its back, and a giraffe that has the neck tied up. So I make a couple cards with that set. Pull out some of the ones that we haven't used in a while. I'm trying to do different, so all the cards have different sets. So it'll be fun for class. So if you need to get signed up for class, let me know. For July. I think it's on the website, so Stamping Journey, you can go to stampingjourney.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day and night, and I will see you tomorrow for Winging It on Wednesday. Let's hope something good turns out tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.